going to unbox the Agua Tek Pulse test unit. It arrives in a plastic case, small plastic protective case like this one, and when we open the unit, inside there is foam, a small instruction booklet detailing how to change the batteries, what connections there are for pulses in or pulses out, screenshots of the particular LCD displays depending on which function button you've pressed, and also a portion showing some typical meters that it could be connected to and flow sensors that it's capable of testing. There's also some notes on firmware updates and some like little hidden menus that can adjust other features. But first of all, I'll show you that it comes in a little box. It has room for adapter cables, and when you remove it, you'll notice that it's in a nice rubber case designed to take a few knocks and drops. But what it is important to say is the unit isn't IP68, and so if you're using it in drizzle or rain, you should shelter the unit. It is splash proof, but it's not IP68. It's not designed to be left out connected to a flow meter in the pouring rain. The rubber outer casing is designed to come off if you need to change the battery. You just take it off like that, and when you turn it over, you'll see that there is a battery box there. You just slide and remove, and inside it takes the typical 9-volt PP3 alkaline battery. You can pop that out, take it off, just a normal connection, and as you can see, it just fits in that little slot there. So if I reconnect the battery, back in there, close that case, and the easiest way to slide it back in is like that. Just put it over the top. Make sure it sits nicely. The unit's called a pulse flow cable test unit because it's capable of accepting or taking pulses in from flow meters, flow sensors connected to flow meters. It's also capable of testing the bare wire sensor if you have the sensor and are just going to connect it into some chock block. However, the unit does come as standard with two connectors on the front panel, which the most common data loggers out there that you will probably be testing will be the Halma Radcom data logger or the Technolog Cello data logger, which the Radcom uses a 4-pin socket and the Technolog use a 3-pin socket. So you could go out to site and find that there's a flow meter there, and there's an existing plug connector, Amphenol plugged military style connector, that is capable of connecting into either of these two depending on which manufacturer it is. We can make adapter cables for Primea units, things of that nature. If it was just bare wires that you've got, you can actually connect them into these quick fit connectors that are on the top of the unit, which just pull down, and you put the conductor of the wires that you consider to be the ones that would have the flow pulse on them into there, making sure that you get it onto the actual metal conductor, not the insulation around the conductor. The other two connections there are capable of putting a pulse out. So this pretends it's a water meter and actually puts a pulse out so that you can test a data logger to see if the flow cable that you've got connected to the data logger is actually working. So what you would do is you would switch this on, connect the cables there and there, and then using the proprietary software of the data logger manufacturer, you'd be looking to see if the data logger could then see a flow rate. Very simply designed. It has 3 buttons on the front which I'll go into more detail in a moment. The unit is simply operated by these 3 yellow buttons at the bottom, and they're fairly self-explanatory. The first one is on off, and a single press lights the unit up, giving the company name and the version number, and then it swiftly scrolls through what it's currently set to. I'll switch it off and back on again so that you can see that again. It says that it's shutting down, and then if I do this, switch it on, Agua Tek Limited PTU version 3.16, range set to 1 litres of pulse, and then it comes on giving the flow rate, or will give the flow rate, in litres per second and meters cubed per hour. Now if when you switch the unit on, I'll do that again, if when switching the unit on you notice that the range of 1 litre of pulse is incorrect, or you wish to change it, you're just not looking to see if you're getting pulses, you can press the middle button which says pulses significance. The first press steps it through. So you can see you can go from half a litre of pulse to 1 litre to 5 litres to 10 litres, 100 litres and 1000 litres of pulse. If I put it on half a litre, so that's a typical T-probe setting. The other button to the left that says total and flow literally switches between the flow rate shown in litres per second or meters cubed or a total. So if you wanted to just measure the flow through the meter for 5 minutes and then switch the water off, you would get a total value of volume of water that has gone through the meter, either in litres or in meters cubed. And if you want to go back to a flow rate, you can simply press the button there. As I was saying earlier, the 2 connectors on the front, you can directly connect or disconnect a water meter from an existing logger on site and connect it directly into the unit to check that the flow sensor and water meter are working correctly. Obviously there's got to be water going through the meter to record a flow rate, and you can either use the Radcom or Technolog socket. You can't use both at the same time. And on the top you have the quick fit connectors, and the way to remember, the ones to the right that say test unit, below them, they're the flow input or pulse input connections, and the pulse output connections are on the left hand side here as indicated by pulse. The unit will switch itself off after approximately 30 minutes as standard, in which case it just shuts itself down to save the battery. This can be adjusted in a hidden menu, which is detailed in the manual. Switch the unit on again, and that's the basic outline of the pulse test unit as supplied by Agua Tek Limited. Thank you for watching, and please hit the like button and subscribe for further videos. I will be doing a few more actually showing connection to this unit of various flow sensors with connectors with bare wires, just to demonstrate the use of this unit. Thank you for watching.